So with all the Pokemon Sun and Moon leaks, data mining, and spoilers going around, it's pretty easy to forget about Pokemon Go, mostly because Pokemon Go is kind of forgotten about right now. However, a breath of life is on the way. Johto Data is currently in the game, and also Pokemon Go is hiding a secret and will always have a secret to be discovered, thus keeping the Pokemon Go community alive. I'm excited to get into this news because it's been a while since I've had a meaningful Pokemon Go update. So there's a secret out right now, and we'll see how that plays out over the course of the next few weeks. Hanke throwing down the teasers. He also teases that Pokemon Go will always have secrets embedded in the app because the studio is continually adding new secrets. And asked about the Halloween update, he wouldn't budge. He was being very tight-lipped about these secrets as well. That has to be like the best thing ever. You have an app that hundreds of millions of people have downloaded, that tens of millions are currently playing, and you just get to go, yep, I know what's in that game. And I'm not going to tell you, you guys get to find it out. Now, with such a large community, you'd imagine these secrets to be discovered almost instantly, even with like data mining and reading the game's code. It seems like it's going to take a few weeks, according to Hanke, and I'd imagine that he isn't underestimating the power of this community anymore. So that's actually pretty crazy that since the game is always updated, you know, they might actually be sliding in new events, new secrets, new things to be discovered, even on like the most minor and small of updates. You never know what's going to happen. So that's actually pretty crazy right there. And I'm wondering, you know, when is Ditto going to be happening is the big question. Like, if he's saying there's a secret right now, does that mean Ditto is finally in the game? Just not mentioned, maybe someone's going to stumble into it. That's why I'm going back to this video right here, Pokemon Go Ditto Hunt. And this was pretty much a video looking for how to find Ditto. Now, unfortunately, a lot of people took it the wrong way and thought that it was actually finding Ditto, but no, it's a hunt. We're trying to figure out what it takes to find Ditto. And if you watch the video, we go through like all the things, you know, major finds of what is tested, what doesn't work, what might work when finding a Ditto. And that's, I think, something that needs to be looked at again. It's kind of crazy that what if every patch we need to retest all of these Ditto theories because it was it's hard to tell. Like, was the new secret added in the Halloween update? How often are these new secrets introduced? Because if they're introduced frequently, then yeah, we need to keep testing these theories. That's why I want you guys to go back to the video, check it out, maybe try some things for yourself, maybe collaborate and try to find out what's going on. But the Ditto hunt might be alive, maybe Musin, maybe the Legendary, we don't even know right now. But that is the state of the Pokemon Go community, always changing and getting ready for Johto. New Pokemon just appeared in Pokemon Go's code. Say what? So references and placeholders to 100 new Pokemon from Chikorita to Celebi, or in layman's terms, all of the Generation 2 Pokemon. That means there's placeholders, there is data. We are ready for Pokemon Johto right now, and that's pretty crazy. Also, a new Transform move, seemingly meant for Ditto, which might mean he's finally about to come into the mix, or maybe he's already in the mix, depending on what that secret is. Ditto, like also, yeah, here we go. Another thing was found from this update, Transform. It looks like we're not finding anything on how to get Ditto specifically, but Ditto spotlights and Ditto references are in as well, and the Johto stuff is pretty crazy as well. New code was spotted by the fine folks on the Sylph Road, community of data-focused Pokemon Go players working together to figure out why Pokemon spawns the way they do, and all these other crazy things going on. Now, here's the thing. What does this mean? Importantly, it doesn't mean new Pokemon are available right this second. However, Niantic is very quick to roll things out after new code appears. The buddy system was 1 week before Niantic turned it on. That's actually a really interesting thing about. Like, yeah, I remember that. I remember hearing about the buddy system, and then it came out. I was like, wait, did I cover the news late? Wait, was it already out? It was mind-blowing how fast it came out. So maybe Johto is right there with it. What if Johto comes out with Pokemon Sun and Moon? That seems like a real possibility right now. That Pokemon Go Johto update has to be timed perfectly, since it is going to be a big thing affecting Pokemon Go. This is what a lot of people are waiting for. A lot of players dropped off, but they are anxiously waiting to get back in once new Pokemon, once new mechanics, once something new happens with Pokemon Go, so it's just not the same thing over and over again. So if you launch that with Pokemon Sun and Moon, I mean, it kind of works because it blows up the entire Pokemon community at once, but it might split what players want to do. Do you want to grind out Pokemon Sun and Moon? That is a mobile game as well, not smartphone mobile, but 3DS, you can take that anywhere. So am I on the bus playing Pokemon Go, or am I on the bus playing Pokemon Sun and Moon? However, the data coming in such close timing makes this really interesting as to what could happen right now. I was expecting Johto to come out last month, sometime in October. That way, get a month to burn out on Pokemon Go, play Pokemon Sun and Moon, get burned out, third generation gets introduced. Bam! Everyone is happy in the Pokemon community. Also, since we're talking about Generation 2, we do need to stock up on certain candies before Generation 2 drops because, hey, guess what? There's evolutions of first generation Pokemon in the second generation. So let's go and check this one out. First off, Eevee candies for Umbreon and Espeon. So that is going to be worth a look. Also, Crobat. So all those Zubats that you're getting flooded with, make sure you keep those candies because they will be useful. Your Golbat into Crobat will be meaningful, so that's something. Also, Blossom. So those Oddish candies will play into a Blossom at some point. Same for Horsey, that if you have a Seadra, it is not yet over. You do get access to the Kingdra. Same for Poliwag into Politoed. So a lot of those split evolutionary lines, much like Slowking, that you either have Slowbro or Slowking. So I'm thinking that this is actually going to be a very easy balance patch for Pokemon Go when you think about it, because okay, you have a lot of split evolution lines, therefore you don't have to keep adding power into Pokemon, which seems like a pretty scary thing. Also might explain like why Onix is one of the worst Pokemon right now. Pokemon Go is thinking ahead. Niantic is thinking ahead in the future. Same with Chansey. Like, even though it has the highest hit point stat, it's a very weak Pokemon overall, so maybe as Pokemon are introduced, those buffs will be in the evolutionary forms. Steelix. So if you have a lot of Onix, pretty useless right now. Hopefully you didn't use candies and invest into it. But when Steelix comes out, that will be the evolution key right there. And boom, Scyther into Scizor. Scizor's crazy. Porygon 2 is crazy. Now, Porygon is rare enough as it is, that evolution going to be very key. Also, we don't know how Wild Encounter is going to work. Niantic has said in the past, they're not just going to go and slap out new Pokemon and just fill it in. They want it to be gradual. They want people to have the time to adjust, and they also want to introduce new mechanics with this. So we'll see how these other evolutions play in. And then we have Chansey and Blissey, as mentioned before. So yeah, these Pokemon are just going to get stronger. They're going to have different evolutionary split options and all kinds of crazy stuff like that. So it will get exciting with Pokemon Go. Like the Johto update, like I said, there's so many layers to it. You have to think about the future. You have to think about other Pokemon. Remember to hoard those candies for the 4th generation as well, since evolutions are going to keep on coming. So I guess like Gligar candies and stuff like that. Piloswine for sure, Swinub, all those things. And now the last thing to talk about, Pokemon Go is throwing extra Pokemon and items at players this week. So interestingly enough, there's a new update. New daily bonus feature went live Monday. However, until November 11th, you will find more Pokemon to catch and items to collect while you are out and about. So Pokestops get a huge buff, Pokemon encounters get a huge buff, and this one, an actual crowd of Pokemon around his avatar. That is absolutely nuts to look at that picture, but I think it makes sense. Like, I remember doing videos and when there was a lot of, like, early investigation that there are some, like, Pokemon nests and raids and, like, massive spawns. So if you take that massive spawn and then you throw a buff on top of it, it seems like you're going to get, like, a huge, insane swarm of Pokemon. And this might be in the same place over and over again, because I've known, like, there are those people that talk about these nests and, like, mass spawns that happen in the same spot, you know, once a day or so. And that is, I don't even know if you can catch all those Pokemon in 15 minutes, depending on, like, when they all spawned and stuff. Look at all those Eevees. Oh, that is going to get you an Umbreon or an Espeon right there. So this is the excitement, you know. You stock up on the candies for the 2nd generation. Maybe that's why they're doing it as well. Maybe these increased spawn rates and items are like, all right, we're going to drop Johto, go dump all your items right there, enjoy Pokemon Sun and Moon, Pokemon Company is happy, everyone is happy, and the game is getting pretty crazy. Also, this is a good catch-up feature. If new players are coming back, you know, you hear the Johto news. That would be crazy if Niantic starts understanding the Pokemon Go community as well, that they say, all right, Pokemon Johto stuff is in the code. Maybe people are going to hear about this, start getting back into the game. And this is the time to get back into the game right now, because if you want to catch up to all these crazy dedicated players that have been grinding nonstop since the game's release, this is when you do it. You get your items, you get your Pokemon, Johto comes in, everyone starts playing it again, people drop off, we go back in the 3rd generation, and we'll see how long Pokemon Go stays alive. And then I kind of like ending these Pokemon Go news videos by visiting the Reddit or finding some kind of article that makes me enjoy what is going on right now. Does anyone else use their Stardust on favorite Pokemon instead of Pokemon that dominate the game? I'm maxing out my Kingler, Starmie, Alakazam, and Butterfree. Sure, they won't dominate gyms, but that doesn't change anything. That's what I like to see. I like to see people that are playing Pokemon Go as their Pokemon trainer experience. That they're like, yo, if I was out there around catching Pokemon, if I'm trying to relive my childhood, what are my favorite 1st generation Pokemon and potentially 2nd generation? But other than that, you're just going around playing the game how you want to. I like this Pokemon. I'm not going to let me keep that down. That's where all of my spare Stardust and candies are going. This is my boy right here. I want to have my max level whatever, even if people don't think it is the strongest. I love that, you know. Maxed out Amistar, Charizard, Venusaur, Blastoise, Poliwrath, Slowbro, Machamp, several others that aren't the big 7. No regrets, would max Alakazam if I could evolve with Psycho Cut Psychic. So there we go. Like, that is actually pretty cool stuff right there. And I guess there it is. Let's end it with a couple of questions right now. What do you think the secret is? What do you think about, like, the Johto release date? When do you think that game is going to be released? And also, does anyone else use their Stardust on favorite Pokemon instead of Pokemon that dominate the game? So if you guys enjoyed this video, hope you got to get some nice stuff going on Pokemon Go right now. And I hope you all have a nice day. Thank you very much for watching.